Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ, and I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. For those of you that aren't able to watch this on the YouTube, Tim is sporting the Franco's Italian Army helmet for the sixth time this year because we are here today having the Titans Steelers post-game show. It's a victory show because the Steelers beat the mighty Titans 27-24. They moved to 6-0. Wow. What an amazing game. It was a roller coaster ride. It was just nuts. But hey, it's over. We're 6-0. Tim, how does it feel to be 6-0?
Are we 6-0 or 5-0?
We're 6-0. We went into the game 5-0.
Did we?
Yes.
Really?
Tim Harris. Harris.
So, it feels good to be undefeated. I mean, yeah, of course it does. I mean, it feels good to be undefeated, but
have you ever been 6-0 on anything?
I had a dominant 12-year-old baseball team. We were dominant. Almost
6-0.
Almost represented PA in the Little League World Series. We were a dominant team.
Way back. I'll tell you what, that is impressive. 6-0. Now, most of the fans, I don't know if they know it or not. I am familiar with undefeated teams.
Mm-hmm.
So my 10th grade year when we finished third in the nation,
here we go.
We didn't lose a game. In fact, we lost 2 games in my 3-year high school career. 2 games. That's it.
Good. Yeah. I mean, great for you, TJ. I mean, what do you want? Medal?
In fact, in my high school,
you know, I scored 4 touchdowns in one high school football game.
Who?
Al Bundy. So let's just keep this all in arm's length.
That's true. So we're 6-0. So we don't even know what to feel. We don't know what to do. So Tim, what is your overall feeling about the game?
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, they should have beat them 50-10. 50-10. You can't give up 17-point leads. You just can't do it. You can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't know what. I'm nervous for Baltimore. I think Baltimore's going to beat our brains in. I really do.
Well, you were nervous about the Titans too, weren't you?
No. What did I call them? I called them a poor man's Cleveland. That's what I called them earlier in the year. And they should have beat the tar out of that team bad. This is the Baltimore thing. Makes me nervous. They got, 100 days to prepare for us, and I have a feeling Mr. Spleen's going to be exploited for everything he owns. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, again, we're 6-0. This is one of my takeaways. Rarely do you win a game when you give the ball up 3 times. But we did it. We overcame, and we did it. I mean, hey, 3 takeaways. We knew this. We knew that the Titans were great. Their defense was great. They were great at taking away the ball. But we'll talk a little bit later about Ben. This is not his best performance by far.
There were just some head scratching things in that game. Before the half was head scratching. I mean, I know they got that 5-yard penalty, but you had 14 seconds. Go get 15. Go get 10 yards and kick a field goal.
Exactly.
I mean, there was just some head scratching things in that game where, again, you got into that mode where Ben was chucking the ball. You can't do it. You can't do it. Let Connor run. Let these guys run the ball.
So Ben put up the ball 49 times.
You can't do it, man.
No, you can't. So let's talk real quick. Let's talk about the offense. Let's talk about give me some of your thoughts about the offensive performance.
Image of tale 2 halves. I mean, the first half, that offense looked like they may put up 100 points. They were going down the field. I mean, anytime you don't have to see Barry a whole half, you should be doing cartwheels in your living room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they looked unstoppable. And again, you are some type of wizard. I don't know what it is. Deontay Johnson. I mean,
he was a stud today, wasn't he?
He's stuck. You can't. It looks
like by the way, for those of you that missed the podcast, our last podcast, I called that Deontay Johnson was going to be the offensive player to watch.
It was incredible. It's incredible. I don't. Yeah. It's like you got a direct line to somebody upstairs. I don't know what's. But
So
it's kind of weird to see. I mean, you see they took Claypool out of the game, and
they did.
Juju and Deontay just killed you. You have different weapons, but you got to run the ball. You're up 17 points. Take the air. I thought their game plan coming out, they mixed it up well. They were controlling the clock because they were running the ball.
Yeah.
You're up that much. Just take the air out of the ball. Take it out of the ball.
Yeah, I agree. That's the old Cowher philosophy. You get up on them and you take the air out of the tires. I don't know why they did that either, but So any other thoughts on the offense? I mean, Connor ran the ball hard again. Didn't quite get 100 yards, but he ran the ball hard.
Connor ran hard. I mean, I thought the line played fairly well.
Hey, you know how many times how many times they sacked Roethlisberger?
He didn't sack at all.
None. Goose egg. So I think they did a pretty good job.
Ben just can't. He can't just do some of the stuff he was doing in the second half. That pass at the end of the game.
Terrible pass. You don't throw that pass.
Just check it down. Kick your field goal. If you believe in your defense, your all-world defense, kick a field goal, go up 6 points in that game. We're not even thinking about anything at the end of that game.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ben's got to be better.
I think. I mean, you get him. Some of the other passes, I think, 2 of his other interceptions were tipped. Right?
They were. Yeah.
The first 2 were tipped, which I mean, that's going to happen. That third one was just. It was putrid. There was 4 or 5 guys there. You just can't do that.
Well, he's got to be smarter. You can't make that throw knowing what's on the knowing what's on the game there.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't throw that. I thought he looked decent. I mean, it wasn't his best game by far. But hey, let's just be real. Every year Ben's got at least one game where he throws 3 to 5 interceptions. Just one. I mean, how many times did he do that with Jacksonville and stuff? So let's hope he got that out of his system. What I was impressed with was even with giving up the ball, giving up 3 turnovers like that, the Steelers still held on and they beat a very, very good Titans team. I mean, they were 5-0, coming into the game. So
I don't know.
That was good.
I mean, they're okay. I mean, nothing they did impressed me. I mean, it just did. Their defense stinks, TJ.
Their defense is terrible, but I'm impressed with Henry. I think, and I'll tell you what, seeing Tannehill up close, he didn't look bad. He's better than I thought. It was good to see Juju back. Mm-hmm. This is what I love about our offense. So you could tell they had a concentrated effort on Claypool. And so you have Juju emerging, making some clutch plays. You got Johnson, who looked great. Ebron had that one clutch pass off to the side there. Yeah. I thought their offense looked good. Again, I think you take Ben out of the equation, and their offense had a pretty good day. But hey, that's what you get with Ben. Would you rather see the duck back there?
No.
So who is your offensive player of the game?
I mean, it's Deontay Johnson. You go for what?
Of course it is.
I think you have what do you have? 9 to 4. I don't know. What 14 targets, or is it 14 receptions for 80 yards? 2 tutties.
His stats were he was 9 receptions for 80 yards.
2 tutties.
2 TDs. 2 TDs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was
not a bad day at the office, right?
He was spectacular, man. He was spectacular.
He made the plays. He's fast. He's quick. Again, I got nervous. He went down because we need him to stay healthy. Mm-hmm. I will say this. I mean, now Juju didn't get any touchdowns, but I'll tell you what, he was a close second for me. He had 9 receptions, 85 yards, about 10 yards a reception.
He had some big catches. He had some big chain moving catches.
He did. And I like too. I like the O line. No sacks. I think they blocked well for Connor. And I tell you that O line gets stronger and stronger. And again, Tennessee's defense is not very stout. They don't really scare you, but they played well. So let's flip over to the other side of the ball now. Let's talk about the defense. What are your thoughts about the Steelers' defensive performance?
I don't know. I mean, you take away a couple the big touchdown play, you're kind of like, at times it looked like Henry couldn't go anywhere. Yeah. And then you'd have that 1 or 2 plays you're going, well, where's your defense at? I'll never understand the whole staying 15 yards off the receiver and just giving them easy completions. They did that way too many times. Joe Hayden seemed like he got a little exposed today. Mm-hmm. Mika seemed like he was out of position here and there.
I think he was jumping the gun. I think they were so focused on stopping Henry, and they were afraid he was going to get through the line. That one play, that long pass, Mika was out of position, like you said, but you could tell he was peeking in the backfield. That play action, it was enough. They ran enough, even though he wasn't getting anything, to set up their passes.
And I mean, I did notice, you had Spillane. He had 2 tackles. I mean, the one I thought his whole body just I thought his spine left his body and went to the heavens. It was a great hit. He met him right in the hole. When you watched him a little bit, you could tell the difference between him and Devin Bush. There's another gear where Devin Bush can kind of not get caught up in the wash, where Spillane was getting caught up in the wash.
Oh yeah.
But they did stuff on third down. He wasn't in on third downs. They were pulling him off when he got the coverage wise. So I don't know. To me, TJ, I think they need to make a move to get somebody.
I do too. I think they need to go get a. They have to go get an inside linebacker.
I wouldn't even mind see them going and get another D line to put in that rotation. You got those guys in Cincinnati, Dunlap, and they're crying to get out of Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Having one of those guys in that rotation, man, how you're going to beat Baltimore and beat the Chiefs is getting pressure without blitzing. And if you can get those guys and have that rotation, I mean, you got Tuitt, you got those guys. If you got more guys, more waves, could be scary, man. So I don't know. It just the defense was just they were giving up way too. It seemed like a lot of easy plays. I don't know. They'd have a great play and they'd have something you scratch your heads and go, what are you doing?
Well, you know what? Henry takes a lot of focus, man. I was very impressed. Did you see how they used Bud Dupree? They used him almost as a spy for Henry half the time. Yeah. And that's just brilliant. Holy cow. When's the last time you saw the Steelers do any type of scheme like that defensively? You know what that's like? That's Belichick like. I mean, we're going to shut down your best guy. We're going to do some very creative things. I was very impressed with that. And I'll tell you what, you're right. I thought Spillane was going to have like an out of body experience, but man, how many guys in the league can hit Henry head on like that? 6'3", 250 pounds and stop him dead. What was he on the 1 yard line, the 2 yard line?
It was an incredible hit. I thought the kid was, I thought he was dead. I was like, when he got him grabbing his shoulder, I'm going, is it really your shoulder? Or do you know what planet you're on right now? You know what I mean? He had a look in his eyes, kind of like.
Now, thankfully, he did come back. So I thought we may lose him for the season after that. But I thought the game plan was good. They handled Henry very well.
I thought Cam Sutton played very well.
He was a stud. He played incredibly well. I'm with you on that. Again, I think the defensive backs were a little. Maybe they didn't give Tannehill maybe the props he deserved. I agree with you. They were out of position. They need to do a better job there. So who was your defensive player of the game?
My defensive player of the game, man, I'm going to say it's Vince Williams. I think he had like 10 tackles.
He was a stud. And
you know what I mean? So I think he played pretty well.
Yeah, I think he's mine too. I think you can't get away from that. He was solid. I mean, I think everybody played well. He was solid, but I think you give it to him. So, we're 6-0. It's a good place to be in.
I want to stop this for a second because I will say this. The legend of Marky Mush is undeniably it's a real thing. It has to be a real thing.
So you had an encounter with Mark today.
Let me just break this down. Okay. Good luck. Probably about 15 minutes before the game starts. I'm going to be golfing, so I probably won't catch up to the second half. Cool. Steelers go up 14-0. TJ, I can provide the text message screenshots and times, and you can match them up to when these plays happened. I get a text message from Steelers looking good. I'm not lying. 2 minutes after that 70 whatever yard touchdown catch to make it. No, it wasn't
Brown.
It wasn't the 7. I'm sorry, it wasn't that. It was the one where they scored to get 14-7.
Yeah.
Don't hear anything from Mark after that for a while. Steelers go up. They're up whatever at halftime. I'm sitting back. I'm thinking, man, I may be able to go outside like in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a blowout. Maybe, blow some leaves around, do something. I don't know. It's a nice little crisp fall day. Do something, I get a text not a minute later. That's when that guy takes that ball 70 yards.
Splits the defense, goes straight up the middle.
And after that, because he was done golfing, I just kept getting texts. And it was like the wheels. You know that gif you see when the car and the wheels just come popping off of it? That was like the Steelers. I was almost ready to drive to his house, grab his phone, and just break it.
Maybe you need to make a deal with his wife. Maybe she's got to hide his phone during the game.
It's either that or I start hedging everything he likes and just bet against it and just become an absolute bazillionaire. I just,
Well,
I couldn't believe it. It was like, it was incredible. I'm sitting there looking at my phone. I'm going, and when he does it, because my wife looks directly at me in the eyes and she goes, "What?" I just go, and I just put my head down. I mean, towards the end of that game, there wasn't a lucky position at the end of that game, TJ. I was standing shirtless.
Your poor wife and child.
She was asleep, thank God, but I was standing shirtless with my hands crossed, 3 inches away from the TV with my glasses on. I mean,
that's not a pretty picture. Those of you that are not able to view at home, you're just listening to the downloaded podcast on Apple or Spotify. That's not a pretty picture.
No, I'll admit that it was not a pretty picture. I can't.
That's great. Oh,
it's unreal. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Well, we got to move past that juju.
Well, not to mention, I owe him lunch now, because Pitt Panthers. I might as well just.
They stink. Pitt stinks. Pitt stinks.
I mean,
so we have the mighty Ravens next week, but before we talk about them, let's take a quick peek into the Yinzer mailbag. We did get some mail for the Yinzer mailbag right after the game, which is always exciting for us. What is the Yinzer mailbag, you may ask? Well, it's when you, the fans, get to ask us, the Yinzer brothers, anything you like about the Steelers in the podcast. Any question you have, any comment, something about the show, maybe ideas, anything like that. You can send your questions to yinzerbros@gmail.com. Again, that's yinzerbros@gmail.com. We're here for you, the fans. So we have an email from Mark. Mark says, Tim Edmond almost gave up the big play at the end. Any thoughts about that?
I don't think I should bite my tongue right now.
He wasn't bad.
Played, I think he played pretty well today, man.
He wasn't bad. Yeah.
He had a pass breakup, and I think he had a big tackle for a loss on Henry, I believe.
He did. So here's a follow-up thing. So Tim, I know that Edmonds is on your list. Tim,
that may be the only thing he does all year.
It might be. Hey, if he gets us a win, that's fine. Tim, did anyone on the Steelers make the list tonight?
Anybody on the Steelers make the list?
And so, by the way, Tim has this guy. If you don't know this, Tim has this list. Of players,
whoever number 99 is that they brought up from the practice squad with that long hair.
It's a bad look. That's a bad look for him.
On fourth in an inch, he is Godot or whatever his name is. How is he on the team?
I don't know.
He had a good block. He did have a good block on the Betty Snell touchdown.
Yeah,
but he shouldn't be playing football. Shouldn't be playing it at all.
So for those you don't know, Tim has a list of players that
Fitchner was close to the list tonight too. Fitchner had some calls. You were just going, "What are you doing, Fitch?"
Yeah, players and people that just make the list. At some point, we've decided everybody on the planet at some point probably makes Tim's list.
No, I mean, why did they dress him?
They needed a big body, and they didn't know if your four plays were ready yet or not.
They sat down Isaiah Buggs and they brought that guy up.
Yeah, I thought Buggs is a lot better.
Buggs is huge. He's a ginormous human being. They picked up a guy that looked like he was just playing from an AC/DC concert down the
street. He was pretty struggling. He took his helmet off, and I was like, "Yikes!" It was pretty scary.
I'm going, who is this dude, and what homeless box did they pick him off of down on the COVID crockpot area down in Nashville?
It was bad. Hey, here's another question. Actually, you may have already answered this one. Tim, how many different lucky positions did the Yinzer Bros have to use in today's game to pull the game off?
I was cruising beautifully. I was in like one majority of the game. And as soon as I got that text from Mark and they started going on hill, I was everywhere. I almost just went outside and watched it in my car on my phone at one point, hoping that may turn the tide.
We did have a funny thing. Tim and I one time were watching a game at my cousin's house, my cousin Mike Sarunas' house, And every time the Steelers started winning, Mike was outside. Remember that?
Yes.
And he watched the whole game. We wouldn't let him back in the house. He watched it from through the screen door in the back because every time he came in, we started to lose. We did end up winning the game. Thank you, Mike. For that.
You have no idea what it's like having to go through that game because my daughter, I think, went to bed at like 2:30. So it was right around, I would say, right around when the fourth quarter started. Not being able to scream, get loud, do anything I felt like I was in church and I just saw somebody getting murdered and nobody else was like making any noises. That's what I felt like. I was like, I got to say something. I got to do something. And I just couldn't. Because my wife's sitting over there. She's looking at me. Anytime I'd like get up, she's giving me that eyeball. And I'm going, oh, man, I need to build one of those bunkers outside my house and just stay there permanently during Steelers season.
Maybe you can convert the shed out there into a man cave.
Once we replace that shed, I'm thinking about it. Get a little heat, get a little power out there.
Run
the generator right out there.
That's all you'll need.
Yeah, be great. That ain't never gonna happen.
So here's another question. I think is a good question. What did you think of the Steelers special teams performance today?
Man, having Ray McLeod out there is like, you wonder, like, I mean, did Ben have that much pull to have Switzer on that team for what, 2 years? Because he stunk.
Maybe. Yeah, he was bad.
Ray
did anybody pick him up at all? Did anybody pick up Switzer?
Yeah, Cleveland did.
Oh,
these are Cleveland's practice squad.
Oh, dear.
But who cares? I mean, good for them. Take him. I mean, good. Go that garbage.
No, Ray's a stud.
I mean, he looked good. Boz looked like Boz.
What about Barry? 2 kicks. Guess you know what his average was? 50 yards.
Was it really?
50 yards apiece, yeah.
He better not be here next week.
Barry?
I saw something very interesting. I think it was Saturday night. Gary Dulatt, the big beat writer, the Steelers, said something about Barry's going to be activated, and he wrote under, he's like, this is only a temporary thing. So I have a feeling he's not going to be around.
What, did he do something bad?
No, he just stinks, TJ. He's not good at football.
Well, he's into the Australian football. He's an Aussie. He's got a great accent.
He stinks. To me, it's like, go get Marquez King or go get McAfee. Get him out of retirement. The one dude, I bet you the one team he would play for is the Steelers.
How old is McAfee now?
He ain't that old. TJ, a punter. You could be 1,000 years old and be a punter.
Maybe McAfee will get a hold of this. Maybe this will be what propels the Yinzer Bros into stardom. Maybe,
I mean, bring him home. Let him be a world champion at home. Even though he went to Plum and Plum sucks. Bring him home.
That's true. They're not very good. That's true. Oh, here's another question. Tim, did you cringe when Ben got his arm whacked after that throw in the second half?
I didn't see him get his arm whacked.
I didn't see it either, so I don't know.
I saw him get fight. Ben was quite feisty this game, though. And that was another thing kind of shocked me. It seemed like Ben took a couple questionable late hits that just weren't called, which I was kind of like, if that's Brady, flags are going, people in the stands are throwing flags. I kind of was like, it didn't make much sense to me. There was a couple of them, you're kind of like head scratchers, kind of going, huh?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think every once in a while when Ben gets too fired up, he tries to do too much. I think it's when he gets into trouble. So I don't know. I didn't see that play. I don't know what happened. It says with the next one with Spillane, with the Spillane scare, do you think the Steelers will trade for somebody?
Even without the Spillane scare, I think you need to go trade for somebody. I mean, Spillane is just, he had 2 tackles. Like I said, you just watch him a little bit. That's when you could tell you're different between Bush and him. He just gets caught up in the wash.
Yeah.
When Bush he's enough speed to get away from that wash to kind of do that. So, the hit, like I said, on Henry was amazing. If it was me, my soul would have left my body right there on the field. You got to make a move somewhere. I just don't know who you're going to get. I just don't know.
Yeah, they have some options. They got to pull the trigger quick because they got about a week before the trade deadline, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like he reminded me a little bit like Rocky Balboa. He took on Henry, like taking on the big Russian. He didn't even think about his body. He just thought, I just got to go get this guy, and man.
It wasn't even like shoulder hit, he just put his face right in the middle of Henry's chest, and I was like, "You have to be insane."
It was nuts. He went down. So I don't know if you saw this. Did you see when he was on the sideline and they were checking out his collarbone or shoulder? One of the coaches had in his hand smelling salts. I remember they used to have that everywhere.
TJ, I am not buying that his shoulder or his collarbone was hurting. TJ, when he hit him, and I saw him down, I go to my wife, I go, he has no idea what planet he's on right now. And he got to the sideline, and he's rolling his shoulder. I'm like, that dude doesn't know his name. He doesn't know his parents' name. He doesn't even know he's from Oak Park, Illinois. He has no idea.
Oh, he went full force. That's it. And Henry, he's a stud, man. Good night. Well, that's a pretty good Yinzer mailbag. That's all we have tonight for the Yinzer mailbag. Again, if you get any questions for us, any comments, ideas, endorsements, we're open for endorsements. We can get paid in money or snacks, anything like that. Yeah, we can do snacks. You can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky, you may get your question answered on the show, this popular juggernaut sports podcast that's slowly taking over Pittsburgh. One subscriber every 3 weeks. We get another subscriber. It's amazing. We're a juggernaut, Tim. We're a sports juggernaut.
All it's got to take is one person. Right. We catch on fire. It's all it takes.
That's right. We could be legends because right now we're legends in our own mind. But so let's peek ahead. We have the mighty Ravens next week. Obviously, they're playing some pretty good football.
They've had 5.5 point favorites already.
Who the Ravens are?
Yeah,
that's amazing. Well, they did have the bye, which I get, even though we're leading the division. But we'll see. Hey, I don't mind being the underdog. I mean, we were the underdogs against the Titans too. I don't mind that.
Yeah, to a point. Because Titans, I think the Titan game you get 3 points for just being the home team normally. Mm-hmm. So I think the spread was a 1.5. So I don't know if we were technically, even though they had the 1.5 point. It's not like you were really favorite. Like tennis, like the Baltimore, they're saying basically they're 2.5 point better than the Steelers just in general without the if we're playing on a neutral site, which is kind of weird.
What are your thoughts about the Ravens? What are your initial thoughts?
I think they're going to beat the tar out of us.
You do, huh?
I just think they've had too much time they've had too much time to prepare. They're going to get that other pass rusher they traded for back. It's gonna be a tough game going into Baltimore and beating them. If they do, they may go undefeated. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. I think it's gonna be one of those games where you may get waxed by Baltimore when they come back to Pittsburgh on that Thanksgiving night. Things are about to get fun. I mean, seriously, we'll see. I don't know. I think having that week of rest to go up against this game, and Baltimore, they're going to be thumping. It's not like you're going up against team. They're going to be thumping. It just gets me a little nervous that they're sitting back and they got a week to prepare for this game. Thanks to the crockpot Corona Titans, this shouldn't even have happened.
Yeah. But hey, in the immortal words of Mike Tomlin,
we do not care.
We do not care. I'll tell you what, I think the Steelers always play Jackson tough. I think they'll keep him in the pocket. Again, I think losing Bush is a big deal for this. But I'll tell you what, I like their scheme. I like their game plan. Their offense does not scare me as much as some others do. I think the Steelers are going to be fine. I think it'll be a tight game. But I think we're going to win this. And I think if we go 7-0 and you take out the Ravens, you start clearing the path for the AFC. I mean, you still have your Chiefs and these guys, but I was thoroughly impressed today. Again, Ben had a subpar performance, but I was impressed with all of the offensive weapons that the Steelers have. They are tough to stop. And I don't know if Lamar Jackson's great when he's great. When he's not, he's not. And he could be a little bit of a liability. And there are definitely holes in his game. If you keep him contained, I think you're good.
With Bush, you were able to spy with him. Who are you going to spy him with? I just don't know. Who are you going to spy Lamar Jackson?
It can't be any of your linebackers. It's going to have to be. They're going to have to bring somebody up.
I will say
maybe a Cam Sutton or somebody. I don't know.
I think Hilton being back, hopefully getting back for this game is going to be huge because I think he can make a difference. But I don't know how banged up he actually is. He didn't practice at all last week, so you're kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't know. And it looks like they came out of this game for Tennessee fairly healthy.
They did. Yeah, they did.
So
I think they've proved that they can get pressure without having to blitz. And I think against these guys, you make him beat you with his arm. And let's see what happens. But I think it'll be a good game. Again, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's again, and like you said, we're 6-0 now. This is the beauty of winning the games you're supposed to win. It puts you in positions that if you drop a game or something, that's okay. And I got to give credit to the Steelers this year. They've won all the games that they're supposed to win. You know,
it's just a weird feeling knowing you realistically, you can pick out 4 more wins on this schedule and you're in the playoffs. So, you know, it's kind of weird knowing that that's almost a 99% certainty you're going to the playoffs. So truthfully, we haven't been there in a couple of years.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you got that first hump, and now you're starting to eye that you somehow run this table, man. Getting that 1 seed in this year, especially with the expanding playoff to 7 teams, and getting that bye.
It's a big deal.
Big deal, man. It's a big deal. And it was kind of nice seeing, you know, the Steelers on top of that whole entire AFC as the 1 seed. It's pretty, you know, pretty nice to see. So, I mean, I think Tennessee is going to drop some more games.
Yeah, they will.
It's going to come down to, I mean, it's going to be down to a 3-team race. You know, it's going to be Baltimore, it's going to be us, and it's going to be KC when it comes to it. KC looked absolutely terrifying today. So, but Denver stinks.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they looked worse than even they do normally. But and you know it'll be interesting. I'm anxious to see how we finish this thing up. Again, I think Baltimore's going to be a big test, but I like the Steelers' chances. And I did see something interesting today, and I don't remember if I saw it on TV or if I saw it on Facebook or something. But there was a stat between the Steelers and the Titans, and when you have 2 teams that meet that are undefeated at 5-0, 5-0. Statistics say that one of those 2 teams, the one that wins, will be in the Super Bowl. I don't know where they came up with that. It was interesting to me. I thought, what? That's interesting. Let's keep an eyeball on that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Of course, it would be my luck that this is the year that the Steelers go to the Super Bowl.
They face Brady and Tampa Bay,
and I can't go because of the COVID crockpot. That would be my luck.
That would be terrible. Would it
be my stinking luck?
Oh man! So Tim, you got anything else you want to add tonight before we call it a day?
It's beautiful seeing Dallas just be terrible at football.
Oh, they are.
And bad. It was extra beautiful seeing New England get throttled.
Oh, they look terrible. Cam Newton, they look awful. So let me ask, what do you think about this? What do you think now if you know, let's say that the Patriots, you know, they win 4 games this year. What does that do to Belichick's legacy?
TJ, half their defense opted out at the beginning of the year. So I mean that's one big thing. I didn't think they'd be that good anyways because half their defense did opt out because of the COVID crockpot. They're just not very. I don't know. I mean, you lose half your defense and then your offense stinks.
So
your
was it Brady?
Stinks.
Was it Brady?
I don't know because, like I said, when you lose pretty much your defense, because Brady wasn't all world last year, their defense was very, very good. Past couple of years, very good. I mean, Brady looks ridiculous now, but he's throwing to guys. I mean, TJ, I can't even throw with my right hand anymore. I think I can complete a touchdown pass to the weapons they have, and they're adding AB.
Yeah.
I mean, Gronk is starting to look like Gronk.
Yeah, he is.
Tampa has so many weapons, and their defense is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
When you surround, you could surround a Bear quarterback with that much talent, and you're like, wow, that dude's pretty good.
Wouldn't that be great? Now, here's my only thought with that. What if adding Brown to the mixture makes it combustible? And it starts to get crazy. Because I don't know if you know this or not. When you add AB to any mixture, it gets a little nuts.
It does.
Can he exist as not the number 1 guy?
I don't think he's not going to be the number 1 guy. I think he's going to come in and be the number 1 guy.
I don't know. I don't know if he will.
I mean, I think if he acts up, Arians will dump him quick.
I mean, what happens to team morale if you start putting all your focus to Brown? What about the other guys? What do they say? How do they react? I don't think you can make him the number 1 guy. I think he's, you know.
I think talent alone makes him the number 1 guy. And to see that little snippet that he actually did up with Brady up in New England, kind Could get scary. And like I said, watching KC this weekend tonight, I mean, that tells you how bad the Jets. Le'Veon Bell looked like he was running with a piano on his back when he was with the Jets. I watched him tonight. I'm going, oh my God, that's a Le'Veon Bell the Steelers had all those years. So I don't know if it's just the water up in New York. I don't know what it is. I don't want to touch anybody from it. You keep beating the Darnold thing. I don't want to. He's tainted. I don't want him.
Yeah, but I'd tell you what, Bell looked pretty good. I think you grabbed Darnold.
But he was. I just don't know. I don't get it. He looked like he was running with a piano on his back with the Jets. And now he went down to KC. The first time he touched the ball, I'm going, oh Lord. I was like, that's not even fair.
Well, you know what makes him a great running back is when you don't have to put all the focus on him.
I agree.
I mean,
but
I mean, what made him a great running back in Pittsburgh? Probably Brown, probably the passing attack.
I think it was a threat of my 4 plays.
I'm sure it was. Oh no, Tim can come on the field at any moment.
Any moment and take your job, buddy.
I did. It was funny when Spillane did have that collision with Big Henry. I thought, I wonder how Tim would fare if he had a collision like that with Henry. That thought did go through my mind.
Do you remember the old video game, the old Madden when it first came out?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would get hurt on the field, and the ambulance would immediately come over, and it would drive over the person that got hurt. That's where I would have died. That's where that's where my last resting place would have been. I would have been, if I would have been alive, if I would have made it, I would have been sipping out of a straw for the rest of my life.
It was a vicious hit.
I mean, I thought his spine actually left his body. I go, I can't. I mean, again, props. Henry went down, and
he did. There was no hesitation either. He attacked him. There was no business decision there. I'll tell you what.
I mean, you got.
And you know what? For the rest of his life, you can't take that away from him. It was like, do you remember when Jerome Bettis ran over Brian Urlacher?
Yes,
in that winter game. Yeah. And how many times did you see that in every highlight reel for Bettis? You see him running up, and I still Urlacher falling back. I mean,
that bought Patrick Spillane at least 4 years in the league. It did. That play, you just put this on my resume. I stuck my absolute face in 280-pound man's chest, and
he's a big man. Yeah, he's a big man.
And you knew it kind of like when he went down, I'm going, who's the one crazy SOB that actually did that? And then you see, you're going, well, it's got to be 41.
You know, it wasn't Hayden or any of those guys. Those guys aren't jumping in.
I was like, Spillane, and then like seeing that replay is even 30 times worse because it wasn't like, I mean, his face, it wasn't like it slid to the side of him. It went right in the middle of his chest. I go, what are you thinking? What are you doing? That dude's gonna have to wear one of them neck rolls the rest of his life.
He probably will. Just sitting around the house watching TV, he may have to wear one. I gotta tell you this though. I don't know if Henry's ever been punched in the mouth like that. So I mean, they went after him today. I mean, I even saw like Bud the stud. I mean, I love their game plan. They hit him so hard a few times, he just couldn't get started. And they didn't just slow him down. They popped him a few times. And I thought, okay. And even Tannehill, did you see the one shot? Who was that? Was that Vince Williams?
I said that also. I go to my wife, I go, when that happened, I go, my whole every bodily fluid would have been just on that field right now.
We need a cleanup kit on Alpha.
I was stunned he popped up, man. Tannehill, I was going, dude, I was like, he's dead. I was like, I don't know if they have clipboard Jesus as their backup quarterback. I have no idea.
It was bad.
I go, that dude's dead. I was like, he's dead. He popped right back up, and I go, oh, okay. Tannehill's got a little moxie to him, but Spillane, man, there should be a T-shirt with that.
There will be. Yeah, it'll probably say it was something with Sparta or something like that. It was ridiculous.
And for him to come out and start moving his shoulder, I'm going, come on, buddy. Just go in the tent, look at the fingers, make up a number, make up some family names.
That's right. They don't even know probably who his family is because he's set raw on the depth chart.
That dude is. I mean, there's no way there's no way they're letting him fall asleep tonight. He's getting woken up every 15 to 20 minutes. Hey, Spillane, get up. Hey, Spillane, get up.
You're right. All right, the Steelers, we get to enjoy this great victory again. The Steelers defeated the Titans 27-24. I don't remember what were our game predictions. You remember the score predictions?
I actually said Boz was going to win the game with a field goal at the end.
I think you said like a 1 point though, right? Was it?
I was going to be. I guessed. I thought it was 24-23, 24-21. I thought that's what I said.
That's pretty. Yeah, actually, you hit it pretty close. I think I was 27-17. So yeah.
Who was your defensive player of the game?
My defensive player of the game?
When you get from
I said it was going to be. Oh, it was Mika last show. Oh no, it was Spillane. I went with Spillane last game.
No.
You talking about my preview guy?
Your preview guy.
Who did I say what the preview was going to be? I don't even remember. Who did I say? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
You think it should be? It wasn't going to be Spillane. I know that.
No, I guess Spillane.
Did I say Vince Williams?
If you did, you're some type of.
I think I said Vince Williams. I'll have to go back.
You might have. I mean, wow, you are some type of.
I think it might have been a D-back because I thought we were going to have. Three turnovers. I was right on the 3 turnovers, just on the wrong team.
Well, you can zero out. It's one of 3 defensive backs. We know it ain't Edmonds.
That's true. It ain't Edmonds.
I thought you said Vince. I think
Williams. I think it was Vince Williams. Yeah,
which is just freakish. I mean, you're some type
of it's just how it works.
Wizard.
Well, so we got a great game. The Steelers defeat the Titans 27-24. Again, I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Look forward to our Pittsburgh-Baltimore preview podcast dropping later this week. Stay classy, Pittsburgh. Enjoy the victory.